Way down this dirt road are some pretty cool creatures. First critter I ran into was an African Spur-Thighed tortoise. This guy's name is Ned. He's about 19 or 20 years old and he weighs 75 pounds. This is the burrow that Ned created for himself when it's too hot. He can just crawl under there and get shaded off. Ned really likes to eat hibiscus flowers. But we're not here to look at turtles. Welcome to the Lubee Bat Conservancy. Lubee is a non-profit organization that saves bats. They save bats with research, education, and conservation. Bats have a superpower. You see all these holes in his wing? They can heal it super fast. Bats can have cancer and their bodies will heal themselves. Scientists are studying bats so we can find a way to heal cancer from people too. We're gonna make some enrichments for the bats, like special fruits and toys to make them play like they do in the wild.
Food? Alright, well if you wanted to cut up some of this papaya, it's one of their favorite fruits. If you add it to that ladder right there, it encourages them to go down
So like
the ladder.
stick it on?
Yep, perfect. Perfect.
Cut them up good enough.
Skin's really thick. If you think about it, not any of their food is really cut up for them in the wild, so you're already kind of helping them out a little bit.
This is papaya, dragon fruit, guava, and jackfruit.
It's a ladder, so if you hang the fruit onto these shower curtain rings, they'll have to climb down for it. They're very used to just climbing on top of the wire and not really going down or moving around as much, so it just kind of forces them to move.
Skins.
Exactly. All right, and
We put some fruit on these hooks so they can climb down and eat their food. We also are using this and put fruit in it so they can use it like they're foraging in the wild. Today we're using fruit, but you can also use scent, plants, and toys.
sometimes the fruit's kind of difficult to cut off the shower curtain rings just because of how ripe and squishy it is.
This is a puzzle feeder. We pour baby food into every little hole everywhere, so the bats have to flip them, move them, and figure it out. So it makes it more interesting, so they have to use their brains. Now we're gonna hang these up and let the bats have a little fun. A little more. I couldn't quite reach, so I had to get some help.
Yeah, it's true.
I spent a lot of time observing the bats and seeing how they communicate with each other. These are Malayan Flying Foxes. They're the biggest bats in the world. Their wingspan is up to 6 feet. Look at this guy's tongue inside that ball. Bats are upside down most of the time, but they flip over sometimes when they're having babies and to use the bathroom. Let's go explore and see what other bats we can find. This is a golden mantle flying fox. They're really hard to find. They like to live alone, and they're the cutest of them all. This is Curry. She's a spectacle flying fox, and they're from Australia.
See the fur around her eyes? It looks like spectacles.
This is Grace. She's a Rodrigues Flying Fox. Rodrigues Flying Fox used to be the most endangered mammal in the world, but thanks to conservation efforts, we've saved them.
It's the giant Malayan Flying Fox that people used to think was Dracula. Their enormous size led people to believe that they were half human, half bat.
Blah, blah. This is Brian Pope. He's the director here. Thanks for talking with me.
You got it. Thanks for being here.
Brian's been working with bats for years. Tell me, what do you love so much about bats?
I think the one thing that always stands out when working with these guys is that they're just absolutely amazing animals. They're the only mammals that can fly, and there's a lot of myths associated with bats. People think that they're blind, and they're not. They can actually see very, very well. They're very clean animals. They're very social, and in a way, they're almost like primates. But there are almost 1,400 different species of bats, and they'll eat everything from insects like we have here in Florida to fruit bats like these guys. But I think what really draws me back to these guys is they're fun to work with, they're absolutely fascinating, and they are essential for the ecosystems and where they're found.
Why is it so important for us to conserve bats?
Well, these guys are important not only for the rainforest and where they're found, but also for the fruits that we eat. These guys are responsible for pollinating flowers and dispersing seeds for fruits like bananas and mangoes and cashews and a lot of plants and vegetables that we depend on are because of these bats pollinating flowers and dispersing seeds. So we need them for the food that we eat. But they're also very important for the rainforest. And in some areas of the rainforest in Central and South America and Southeast Asia, these guys are responsible for 90% of the regrowth of the rainforests.
Bats can restore the rainforest and maybe help us cure cancer. That is cool. Don't forget to go to the Lubee website and find out how you can help. And go to the Bat Festival. It's really cool.
Blah, blah.